So the year 2019 is officially ended, and here I am with my top 5 Linux distros of that year. In 2019, I was searching for a Linux distro so that I can use it as a daily driver on my laptop. So I was continuously searching different distros, and at last I am here with the top 5 Linux distros of the year 2019. So starting with the number 5. On the number 5, I have chosen the Ubuntu operating system. Ubuntu operating system is based on Debian operating system, so therefore it is rock solid system. There are two versions of Ubuntu. One is the LTS version and the second one is the non-LTS version. The LTS version is released every 2 years and the non-LTS version released every 6 months. Now Ubuntu is a very popular Linux distro, so if you encounter any problem with Linux, then there are a lot of chances that the online help or guide for solving that problem is done in Ubuntu and given for Ubuntu. Now, as Ubuntu is very much popular, if you want to install any software in your Linux, then it will definitely work on Ubuntu as well. Now, Ubuntu comes with all kind of popular desktop environments. It comes in XFC, KDE, GNOME, and it also comes in the Budgie, and LXQT is also there. Now, in the year 2019, I installed the Ubuntu 19.04, and later on the 19.10 version was released. Now the 19.04 version, I installed it, I used it for a month, and I encountered some problems with it. I don't know how to solve that problem, so I end up installing two times or three times the Linux distro during the whole month. And the problem was that the operating system was again and again going into the rescue mode, and I was not able to solve that issue. So I decided to change and install some other distro and try some other one. Now a negative point for Ubuntu is that in the year 2019 it lost some of its popularity because the developers decided to drop down the community theme, which was the Unity theme. Now a lot of Ubuntu fans were not happy with this because the community theme was something which was different and which made the Ubuntu operating system look different from the other one, and they adopted the GNOME shell as the default desktop environment for the Ubuntu. So that's why some of the people decided to shift from Ubuntu and go towards the other operating system. Now the Ubuntu operating system, as it is based on the Debian operating system, so it shares the software repositories from Debian also. Now Ubuntu has one more positive point, that it supports PPA, so you can install any software by importing the PPA. It also has the support for Snap, so you can install the latest software on your Ubuntu. Now coming towards the number 4th one. On number 4th, I have chosen the Elementary operating system. The Elementary OS is based on Ubuntu LTS version, so it is also a rock solid stable system. It is very much popular, and it is very easier for a person who is switching from Mac OS to the Linux world, because the person will find the Elementary OS more familiar than the other operating system. The Elementary OS is very good for the beginners. Now, as it is based on the Ubuntu LTS, so any software which is released for Linux, it will definitely work on Elementary OS also. It also supports the Snap packages, and it also has the support for PPA. Now Elementary OS has its own desktop environment, which is the Pantheon desktop environment. It is a very good looking and very clean and sharp desktop environment. Now on the negative side, as it is based on the Ubuntu, the PPA can be sometimes conflicting with each other, and you might end up with an older software installed in your system. I used this Elementary OS for some days, and I was also testing this OS, and what I find was that Elementary OS has its own bunch of applications installed in it, but sometimes the Elementary OS was lagging and it was not giving me a good performance at that time, so I decided to install some other operating system. Now on number 3, I have chosen the Linux Mint operating system. Linux Mint is very much popular among the users, and if a person is switching from Windows into the Linux world, then Linux Mint is the preferred option for that person. And a lot of people also recommend that you start with the Linux Mint OS. Now Linux Mint is also based on the Ubuntu LTS version, and it is therefore a rock solid stable system. It is very much popular among the community, and it has its own Cinnamon desktop environment. Now recently the Cinnamon desktop environment also updated, and the Linux Mint updated to the 19.03 version in the year 2019. Cinnamon also comes in the XFCE and Matter desktop environment. So if someone is interested in installing a different desktop environment, then that person can install it the XFCE also, which will work more faster than the other, and is a better option for if you have an older PC. But I would suggest that you go with the Cinnamon desktop environment because it is something unique which Linux Mint has. Now, as it is based on the Ubuntu, so the same negative point is there that PPA can be sometimes messing with each other. Now I also installed the Linux Mint, and I used it for a lot of time, around 15 to 20 days, and I was continuously testing this distro. And one thing I found that though it is based on the though the Cinnamon desktop is based on the GTK toolkit, and it is a little bit resource heavy, but it was running very much fast. The response time was much more faster than any other desktop environment like XFCE. On number 2, I have chosen the Zorin OS. The last release of the 2019 was the version 15.1, which was released in December. The Zorin OS is based on Ubuntu LTS, and it is also the rock solid stable system. It is very much popular among the beginners and among the Linux users. For older hardwares, as the Zorin OS is based on the Ubuntu LTS version, so every software which is made for Linux will also work in the Zorin OS. It also has the snap support, and it is integrated in the software center. Now the same negative point as the Ubuntu has, that sometimes PPA can be messing with each other, but you are much more safer if you install the any software from Snap to get the latest version of the software. Now Zorin OS has its own theming on the GNOME shell. So if a person is switching from the Mac OS or from the Windows, the person will find Zorin OS a much more easier way to go on with the Linux operating system. It has the built-in tweak tool. With the help of that, you can customize the Zorin OS to look like Windows or to look somewhat like the Mac OS. And the Zorin OS also comes with an application called Zorin Connect. They have also updated and added some new features, some cool new features to the Zorin Connect application in the year 2019. Now coming towards the number first position, on the number first, I have chosen the Manjaro OS over any other Linux distro. The Manjaro OS is based on the Arch Linux system. It is a rolling Linux distro. Manjaro has a very much organized documentation. It also has a GUI installer for installing the software, which is known as Octopi. Now, though the Manjaro operating system is based on the Arch, but the Manjaro team holds each and every software for a week or two to test them. So basically the Manjaro is much more stable than the Arch Linux distro. Now Manjaro is not recommended for a beginner, but if you have a little bit experience with the Linux distro, then you can definitely go with the Manjaro operating system. The desktop environments which come with the Manjaro operating system are very much organized, and they have a little bit custom theme applied to the default desktop environment theme. And the negative point for Manjaro is that though it is a rolling distro, it is based on Arch. The Manjaro team hosts the software for a week or two, but sometimes it can be unstable and you might end up getting an error in the boot up section. Now one more thing with Manjaro I liked a lot was that there was a GUI tool to install any version of kernel which was available in their repository, and it was easier for me to install the LTS version of the kernel and the latest version of the kernel and manage them. The latest version of the kernel which was installed in the Manjaro at the year of 2019 was the 5.4 version. Manjaro also has a good integration of TLP with it. Now I have an HP laptop and it has the Realtek Wi-Fi and Bluetooth driver installed. When the kernel 5.3 was released, I don't know, but somehow I was able to install the Wi-Fi driver and the Wi-Fi was working, but I don't know why the Bluetooth suddenly stopped working in that kernel. I searched for the online help and nowhere I was able to find the solution for it. So I was continuously changing the distro again and again so that I could see which distro is working and which distro is compatible with the Realtek Wi-Fi Bluetooth drivers. Now I don't know why, but suddenly the Bluetooth started working, though it had some of the minor issues with the signals, but it was working, and therefore I decided to choose the Manjaro over any other Linux distro. Plus, I used the Manjaro operating system for more than a month. Now, thank you for watching this video, and please do mention in the comment section what did you like this video, and what are your top 5 Linux distros. What is your favorite Linux distro? Please do mention in the comment section, and please do subscribe my channel also. Hit the bell icon also. Bye bye.